この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Jujutsu Kaisen episode 18. Last time on Jujutsu Kaisen we had kind of a special spectacular episode because it was directed by Shota Goshozono and we got to experience some pretty prime Goso cinema. I had a good time with it, and judging from the comments, a lot of people also had a good time with it, so yay. So now we skip the rest of the season, right? We don't need to watch any of the rest of this. We can just skip to season 2 where Shota's directing again. How do y'all feel about that? We just skip the last third of, or I guess it's the last quarter because it's 24 episodes. Yeah, the last quarter of Jujutsu Kaisen, and then we jump into season 2, episode 1 with no idea what's going on. Sound good? No? Okay. Then I guess we'll watch the rest of this season, despite not being directed by a budding genius. Cool. We made it this far off of normal anime stuff. I think we will be able to continue. Although it might be tough. And it's like following a great, you know? Like, how do I follow that? I don't know. Frank Sinatra's up on stage and he's been dead for forever, but somehow he's performing, and now I have to go up and do my stand-up routine? Shit. I mean, I got a tight 5, but coming after old Blue Eyes, it's not gonna work. Okay. Total tangent. I do want to talk about a couple of comments. I want to do a drawing, and I've got an idea for it, so we're in a mishmash. I've got a bunch of things that I want to do. Let's talk a couple comments. Keep this light and small, but there are a couple things that I think are really worth mentioning here because they were a significant portion of the discussion on the last one, and I'd like to either put them to rest or at least continue the discussion in a way that demonstrates how my thoughts have changed, because my thoughts have changed, and I can do that. It's crazy. I'm a mutable human being whose opinions can be changed by stuff. So the first thing that I want to highlight, I think I'll just do 2 comments total. The first one that I want to highlight is from Edgaras? I don't know. 1103. I'm going to skip through it a little bit, but I'll put it up here. Bink. Another thing, people praise JJK female writing in the context of a battle shonen, not in general. And if you hold the opinion that it is thin and female characters just shouting their ideologies, that's totally fair. But that also applies to previous fights between Panda and Makamaru and shonen staples when characters beat the shit out of each other. Comparing it to Hibike is kind of unfair since it's one of the best written slice of life / coming of age shows with a female cast. My 2 cents about the whole thing. The ladies of JJK, so far within 17 episodes that you've seen, don't go gaga over boy crushes, and that's a big bonus. But the biggest thing that why I am more favorable toward JJK female writing is because so far there was not a single second of sexualized fan service. That may be a low bar, it is, but how many shows, especially shonen, completely and utterly fail at this? But that's just me. Yeah, okay, so I commented on this, consider me convinced on multiple points, and I am. Applying the title or the phrase or the moniker great female character writing to Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't work for me. But also applying the moniker great character writing doesn't apply for me. And all of the criticisms that I had of any of the female versus female fights or conversations could be evenly applied to the male-male conversations. Like, even when they're as deep as they get, they're not that deep. Or at least they don't seem so far because the layers haven't been revealed. The big point that I take here is that if you think that they're thin and they're just shouting their ideologies back and forth and saying like the most baseline that you could possibly get, I like myself when I'm pretty and I like myself when I'm strong. Pretty thin, also solid, like reasonable. Just because it's thin and just because it's simple doesn't mean it isn't meaningful to the character or to the people watching. And this kind of takes me back to the original first episode simple shonen speech that I gave. And it's pretty important that we keep that in mind. The things that shonen reveals to us, the most obvious things, right? Like, continue forward on your life's path, find a goal, and stick to it, are dumb as shit, and simple as fuck, and thin as balls, and maybe, like, things that 50% of 11-year-olds already get. But for the other 50%, they might not get it till they're 30, and the anime might snap them into it. So I gotta rescind a lot of my comments about the thinness of the female character writing and say that I think it's justifiable to say that it's way better than most shonen. especially if we consider sexualization of characters, specifically sexualization of characters by the camera or by other characters in scene, as being totally absent so far from the show, which it is. Completely and utterly absent. No panty shots, no booty shots, no cameras finding their ways down the cleavage, no nothing. Not even lingering on bodies or anything, not even a little bit. Like, hell, we've had more man service by a long shot, I'd say, than we've had female fan service. We've had a ton of shirtless characters who are ripped to shit, doing cool stuff. We've had boys get up real close to each other and say sinister whispering things and kabedon and stuff. Like, yeah, totally flip-flop. Honestly, way more sexualizing of the male cast. Consider me convinced on multiple points. I don't give a shit about the gender of the mangaka behind JJK thing, although it seems pretty clear from the evidence presented that the mangaka is probably male, or at least assigned male at birth. I would 100% guess so because of the writing, but I'm cool with burying this argument, honestly, and going on from this point saying, you know what, I'm gonna address these characters as though they're individual characters and just totally try to ignore the gender thing if possible. It is hard to do that when the discussions and arguments between the characters are directly on the gender stuff, which last episode was chock full of. It was a woman-on-woman violence episode, 100%. Emotional, physical, every way, female-on-female violence, big time. And a lot of that violence was around ideas about what women should be in sorcery or shouldn't be, kind of. And it was a lot from Momo, and it was pretty fucked up in a lot of ways. So, if that doesn't happen again, we might not have to broach this subject. If it does, we might, because there is something to ham-fistedly writing nuanced interactions. It's not a thing that you can cross. And so I'm in the middle on this in some weird ways. I think it's cool to try to make statements about, let's call it social justice topics. I think it's cool to try to use your art to do that. But there are a ton of questions about when you should and shouldn't, and whether what you've done is good or bad. And I think now that I've had a week to step away from it a little bit, I'm really curious about the sort of reactive behavior that a lot of us represent or enact or find ourselves embroiled in whenever anything like that comes up, and the kinds of discussions that brew up around it, the kinds of things that people say to each other in those discussions. I don't really know. I'm intrigued. Yeah, and I do want to jump to Ninja Pope Zoo's, as I said, a second comment. Maki-based scenes/episodes are always a treat for the eyes, partly because she doesn't have any cursed techniques, so she just relies on straight martial ability, so the animators need to go ham. And then, a side note to me, I'm continuously amazed by how well you elevate my appreciation for animation techniques and composition. No one does it like you, T. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm working on it. I can easily get behind the messaging in the Momonobara fight, but the "I love myself when I'm pretty and I love myself when I'm strong" line seemed so heavy-handed and unsettled to me that it ended up being more of an eye-roll moment for me than a triumphant one like it was supposed to. I haven't seen many complaints, but reached your point in the discussion to see that we feel the same. I can also see how a male like myself criticizing a female for how they choose to express their pride would be icky, and I feel the same way. It's like, how do I... But because it's a fictional character whose dialogue is being consciously decided upon by an author, I think it's fair game, and I agree. Because I'd say it's meant to have an impact. It's meant to be a message, not just a piece of story, right? It transcends that. It's not just a piece of story. It's outside of that. It's meant to have an impact on the reader. It's meant to be a message that changes you, a message that affects you in some way or makes you realize something, even if it's something simple. I think that means it's more than fair game, right? If somebody's putting something out there into the world, not just as part of their story, if it's just a part of their story and it's like, well, this is just what the characters believe and it's just in world, then that's one thing, but this is really, it's targeted at us through the screen. And so I think it is fair game. It would help if any evidence of gender-based prejudice was seen outside the Zenin family, which is clearly just an entire household of asshats, but we only have Momo's word to go off of. Meanwhile, every other female sorcerer interacts and is interacted with in a completely ordinary manner. And I think that's the main reason that I wanted to really highlight this comment, is Momo makes these huge, broad, sweeping generalizations about all of sorcery, and while they might be true, we haven't seen any evidence of it, and in fact, there are a lot of really powerful female sorcerers who seem to have positions of authority and, like, are members of the people watching and high up in the organizations and stuff. So maybe it's just this one fucking family. Maybe it's a bunch of families who feel the same way, but it's certainly not universal. And probably isn't something that Nobara has been, like, directly in conflict with continuously. Not to discount that there are almost certainly, just as there are in the real world, tons of extra hurdles and hoops that female sorcerers must jump through. It's a sad fact about our current reality that's probably mirrored in the Jujutsu Kaisen world. But yeah, Momo's whole thing kind of sucks, and it is bad. Yeah. I could also never empathize with Mai as a character, as Panda and Nobara reinforced. Just because you've been through more hardship doesn't make you right. Doesn't help your likability when you have a twin that pretty much went down the complete opposite path under the same circumstances. Bingo. It's one thing when another's spite forces you into a spiral of depression. It's another when you actively project that spite onto other people and continue the cycle. I can see how an author might decide to push one character down in order to accent the rise of a parallel character, but unfortunately that leaves Mai in a very rough spot. And I like it in story as well as an authorial decision. I like it. The powerful projection, the self-hatred, other hatred, the need to drag someone else down to justify your own darkness, like, everything that Mai does is real rough. And she does it to herself in a lot of ways, and wants to throw mud on her sister's face for continuing to walk her path, following some of that shonen protagonist journey sort of thing. And she does the exact opposite and falls to just resentment. Not trying to improve herself or get away from the things that torment her or change her lot in life, just trying to destroy the person that she blames because she did better. Rough. Sorry, Mai, but I don't feel for her either. That's not true. I feel for her. How do I put that? I feel for her, but I do not support her. There. Okay, those are the comments that I really wanted to talk about. I will also mention that there is apparently an honorifics track on the Jujutsu Kaisen versions that I've been using, and I will be using that from now on so that we don't get weird shit. Cool? Cool. Okay. How big is this, really? Big. I want to make it big as can be. This gets darker toward here. Great. And this is super collapsed. Great. Okay, now for the harder part. Dead men tell no tales. That's it? Is that it? I think that's it. That's everything. You can tell why I wanted to do it as large an eye as I could, right? Oh, there's the eyelid there. You can tell why I wanted to do it as large as I could, right? I wanted the pupil or the iris of the eye to be the bullet sliced by the blade. So in this moment, Mai is watching her, like, her last attempt, her final bullet, her one shot, really. I guess this isn't the one that she cut in half, right? So it isn't that, but it's still her being cut down by her sister. And there's something about the eye being cut in half. It's like the same symbolically in my head as a character punching a mirror and it shattering. It's like the core center of the person is cut, is sliced. Something about Maki's spirit is torn by this. About Mai's spirit, sorry. Okay, cool. Giving us the evil eye. Oh, I don't have an honorifics track. Something has gotten fucked up. I don't remember which version I was using. I think I'm supposed to be using the Kaizoku version, which does have an honorifics track, so let me fix something. Give me the soot sack. Yeah, give me that soot sack. Huff puff, huff puff. I lost my save point, so I don't even know what my team is right now. Okay, we're chilling. We a Pokemon stream now. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Alright, can I get this to be a double battle, please? Oh, god damn it. They're so... Fuck. Alright. Oh yeah, we're done. Alright, welcome back everyone. We're ready to go for episode 18 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know who's going to be fighting. We've got Malfoy. We got a bunch of people. There are a bunch of people, and we still haven't done any setup for Mahito and Geto and their whole big plan, which should be triggering soon. Let's watch episode 18 and see where we get to. 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, beep beep timer to count you down, early access on the Patreon, beep beep timer, let's go. Oh, hey! Oh, they're arrows, that's him. I forget what those are called. This is cool. Oh, he fights blind. He doesn't need to open his eyes. That's bullshit! Freaking arcane archer bullshit. Sick. Double sick. Thanks, Froggos. I knew it. Snap. Oh. Maybe your blood to seek? He's out of arrows. Maybe we just can't see him. Oh, he is out of arrows. So it's his own blood. Oh, totally, yeah. Oh, one of the hereditary techniques. So it's like Fushiguro's, but... So his is not a main family technique. And he can fight. Ah! The fuck is that? Our shot choices and angle choices have been cool. Oh, he can strengthen himself from the inside and stuff? That's part of why he... Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he can bloodbend his own body. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's blood doping. That is what you're doing. You're stealing somebody else's red blood cells. Or just manufacturing more. That's cool! So he's got conscious control over his own... I mean, blood touches everything, so... I wonder how far he can go. Like, for example, if he breaks his arm, can he use the blood vessels to, like... to engorge the arm so that it stays solid? Or, if he's cut and going to bleed out of an artery, can he, like, cut that off? It's pretty cool power. That's a pretty cool power. I found that really interesting that he wasn't saying his own technique's name. He was thinking about a technique that would work really well if only Mai or Maki had gotten it. And here we've got Fushiguro with, like, a very similar technique, honestly. He's able to call shadows into beasts. Maybe not 10 all at once. Maybe it's just in fighting him, he's seeing how powerful his technique is and being like, wow, if only... I don't know. Yeah, what's Doggo doing? Poor Miwa. Yeah, your one technique. You've never had bubble tea? Miwa, we gotta go out. Hey, bud. What? Oh, shit! He got his phone! Oh, shit, that's dope! Oh my god, that's insane. Is that what Divine Dog has been doing? Oh, wow. Good doggy. Oh, I love that we finally get some info on this guy. Is he smelling one of the sinister ones? Or maybe the boss curse? Ready to roll. That's such a cool play. Yeah, we're moving sinister now. Oh. Enough. So a hell of a leg up. They're in control of the curse. It's like tentacly, snaky. Ah. So then you hit him with a big curse. Yeah, you're assuming a lot of things. I think it's not gonna work, bud. I'm just an old man. I don't have anything sinister planned. Music says that's a lie. Oh, it is that one. Hi. Oh. Did we beat it? Oh, shit. That's the turn. Finally, the turn. Okay, there it is. There it is. There we go. Oh, God. Oh, my, something yourself. Oh, snap, crackle, and pop. Who's the butcher? Okay. We got a craftsperson, a flower boy, and a mojito. Fuck a semi-second curse. Oh. Power. Sweet! Sweet! Big spin! These are great. Totally different style. They're great. Yeah, we don't need those no more. Saying nice things before I kill you. Oh. Huh? Huh? You'll become the pillar that supports the three great clans. But also, yes. Entangled. In what fucking world? Yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh, wait, did we know that? I didn't know that. Okay, rad. Yeah, fucking yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is this the Oliphant? It's the elephant! They have Oliphants! Holy fuck. Oh, it's got a projectile attack. Oh, it's even better. That looks awesome. Get him. Got him. Oh, that's great. Oh my god. He can use a blood bag of his own blood to become anything. That's so sick. Interrupted. We got bigger fucking fish to fry. As an order. Oh. Uh-oh. All the curses just downed. Hey, wait a schmeckend. All at once in an instant, my guy? Right, because one of them doesn't have cursed energy. Bingo. But it has the potential to work out in the way that you want. They could still kill your guy. Okay. Okay. You're putting Ganji and Gojo together? Smart. Money, 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 money. Do you need to use the bathroom? So blank. Oh, this is great! He's freaking everywhere. We haven't even seen what you've been up to. He wants to make stuff. That was wrapped in stuff. Why are we looking at the world? Why are we looking at the sky? Is that him cutting the barrier? I don't know what that is. Okay, cool. Alright, everyone is in mortal danger now. The game is over. Oh, the color shift is cool. Oh, it's a veil. Oh! Okay, okay, separation. So will they be trapped outside of it? Until he can break through. But it's built with him in mind. Ah. Yeah. 100% targeted. Have fun! It's to keep you out and isolate you. Powerful enough to keep him out. Okay, tools and stuff. And he probably makes things out of the people he kills. Hey, buddy, what's in the box? Wonder if it's an instrument. Probably his walker. It's just his walker. Oh, the color is cool. How about 3? You kept him out, you dingus! What? Ghetto. So we get to see what the principal can do. Horrifying. Oh yeah, what's in the box? That's the OP? Holy shit! I thought it was gonna be a stupid instrument. Instead, he's a fucking rocker? Yeah, why? I have to hate him. This is not fair. I'm supposed to. I gotta hate him. Please don't say anything. Mm-hmm. Perfect match. Yeah! It's kind of important. Okay. Hmm. Not gonna allow that. How long does that last? Let's go, Nue. Okay, do we need a fire type? Anybody got fire? Dude, he's solid. Yeah, I haven't seen that before either. I can't read it. Oh, there it is. Cool. Oh. No, it's the land. Yeah, because we had the fire, the sea, and the... Babies? We need to get Inumaki out of here. Whoa. It's happening! It's happening! It's happening! They're attacking! The attack is occurring! That's so good. Because we were just running out of steam, but it's like, it's not when we fully run out of steam. It's not like all the fights have been resolved. We're kind of right in the middle of some tense ones. Bam! It's just right. Just right. Right timing. Good stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. I have to be ready after the Sampo. Okay. Okay, okay. I can do this. Sanpo, 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 Sanpo. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Of course, at the gardening club. What else would it be? So cute, so wholesome. None of your plants are growing, or they're all dead. Yeah, well, it's like not like I wanted to help you farm or anything. Cute. I hate it. I got it in with 1 millisecond in. Woo! And we're still fucking spoiled. There's a flower on her fucking shoulder. That's a weird one. Probably genderless would be the way to go with this, but female-coded voice, male physique, interesting. Huh. I bet that thing's fucked up when it blooms. This is cool beyond cool. Alright, favorite parts. Big surprise. Yes. Color change in the veil space. There are a couple of shots in particular. Yes. Elephant. Water. Dope. General hand-to-hand fighting stuff continues on a fast-paced, high-octane theme from last episode, and I love it. It happens. It fucking happens. I don't know if I already said that. And then final rose, I think, is Gokugan, but he's a baller. He's a fucking rocker with a red, fucking red-ass, dope-ass guitar. Ooh! I had to look it up. So I had to look it up. Just to see what the actual guitar was. I wouldn't be able to find it because it's a Flying V. But it's specific. It's a Gibson 1967 mahogany Flying V reissue Maestro Vibrola. Which is a dank guitar that you can buy right now for $5,500. Yeah, that's a custom 1967 guitar. That's sick. What the fuck? I have to hate this guy. But suddenly all his dope piercings and his he's a balls-to-the-wall rocker. Totally not what I expected. I love it. I love having my expectations muddled, and that really does it. That really for sure does it. I'm excited. So cool. All right, run through. Bits and bobs. General action animation and choreography in this episode is great. It's great. It's not next level mind-blowing, but it's great, and there are a number of things that are really stand out. These wide to close up to wide throughout this hand-to-hand sequence between Fushiguro and are Nito Burrito. Even the first sequences where we're dodging the arrows are really cool. They're super dynamic. We've got lots of jumping and moving. And then the powers themselves look dope too. The impact is all real. This is the stuff that's killer. Like, bam, clang, and then you accent that with the great sound design, and it really ends up all working. I think that they used the environmental layout in this episode for these fights better than most of the episodes that we've had so far. That is, like, using the actual location. I think the closest we've gotten is using some stairways in some cool ways within a high school, right? Like running upstairs or downstairs quickly while in combat. This, similarly, we have a big stairway thing, but we've also got the banister up above that he jumps over. We really, I feel, make use of the space, and that carries over to when we're using CG camera to accent motion really hard as well. It feels great. A piece of the close in wide is that it makes you feel like you understand the whole battlefield when you see the wide, which lets it cut into a close-up and then surprise you. And that's kind of what we do here with the frogs. It's like, okay, incoming, an attack that's going to strike Fushiguro. He can't see it, but of course he's going to be okay. We're not really afraid here. But we see the width of the whole thing. We've seen the whole scope of the battlefield. We've seen it from both sides. Fushiguro in front, Fushiguro in back. We cut into this narrow, which we would cut into anyway for the impact, and then frog tongues out of nowhere. Whoa, cool. So, how would I put this? I think this is utilizing the medium to tell the story in an effective way. What is shown on screen by our limited window into our world is really important for building tension, and here we're able to build up tension and release it by not showing particular elements. Like, how much worse does that sequence look, or work, or feel, if when we're here, we see froggies behind Fushiguro? Right? And then we cut here, and there are froggies down here. Like, oh, okay, there are froggies. And then froggies catch the things. We're like, okay, we saw that coming. It just wouldn't have the same spice. And that little bit of spice is the thing that's sprinkled all throughout the combats to make them cool. And I think it really works in this episode. To the point that I'm going to look up who episode directed. Episode director... 5 and 18, both directed by Yosuke Takada. It's a familiar name. Directed 5 on Chainsaw Man, multiple episodes of Banana Fish, which is where I'm probably recognizing him from. That's interesting. I can actually feel some of that. Maybe I'm projecting it or whatever, but there are few action sequences in Banana Fish, and they do have a particular feel to them. Some Yuri on Ice, some Terror and Resonance. Not a lot of in-between animation, a lot of key and second key, not a lot of episode direction. So, that's cool. Let's see. Is animation director on 6 episodes, though. 3, 5, 8, 18, 21, 24. And will episode direct 4 episodes of season 2 and animation direct 7 episodes. Okay, Takada. Cool. Good. Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade Open. Oh, that's for a video game, right? Yeah, okay. Cool. So, is it Shotoko Shizono? No, it doesn't break norms as much. Not at all. All this feels within the box. But it's still really good. Still really good within the box. Characters are expressive. Cutting into their minds and out is really cool. I'm still not totally clear on this. Is my initial read correct that what he's thinking of is he's watching Fushiguro fight and realizing that his technique is similar to a Zenin technique, and then wishing that using shadows as its medium, wishing that that one of them had inherited it. Because instead he, with no more ties to the Zenin family, has inherited a similar shadow technique. That's pretty interesting. Would his technique count as a main bloodline technique? Is he actually the heir of the Zenin? Is that the story that we're going for here? It's, as far as I know, this hasn't been revealed to us already. If it had, I feel like I would have jumped on it. But it said so nonchalantly that it doesn't feel like a big reveal. I guess it is. Fushiguro has some tie to the Zenin, but it's unclear what. And he left for a reason that is related to that woman. I think the bloodbend superpower thing is awesome. I think it's really, really, really cool. Again, with the big impacts that work. And I'm going to jump my speed up to 8 so that we get smooth flow through, but I can go fast. What is that? Is he splitting the skin around his eye? I don't know. It's fucked upedly fast, though. And this is actually the point where I have to take it down to normal speed, because I want to look at these really high momentum shots, and then there's going to be a rotating shot soon. Boom. And then we cut to the side so that the impact is headed toward us. Yep. So we're back to that same diagonal dynamic, is how I would think of it. Again, we're in the box, but we're using the box properly. We're drawing diagonal lines across it. And through it and into it. So he can manipulate almost anything about his body as long as blood is flowing through it. That's cool. That's a cool technique. I like it. Doping. Don't call it that. This is cute. Just singing a little song, being useless. This is cool. Finally, we've gamed the system and used our most powerful tool. He's so broken. He can just call everybody. It's so broken. I love it. I love it. I think it's great. So, Divine Dog went and found Mekamaru's phone? Is that what he was there for? I assume. Good doggy. Bad Stinky. And here we are, at the moment of truth. At the moment of truth, I was really wondering if we were gonna do it here. It is the perfect time, as far as I can tell. There are enough competitors still in play, and enough eliminated, where it's like, wow, this could all go off without a... Nope. Here they are. And it's well planned. And their goal is to get Gojo in the thing, right? They want to put Gojo in a little box. Okay. They've already kept him out of this space, so he's isolated. Who are they going to send to deal with him? Like, multiple? I don't know. Gakuganji is a motherfucker. I ain't even mad. I'm impressed. I gotta respect it at a certain point. Like, they're going all out. Not only let him know who or what the curse is, but allow him to train it with a whistle. And all of this plan will be for naught because it's gonna get yomped by Hanami instantly. We are a little disorganized. He lets him in on all the information. We're gonna kill him. The transition's excellent. His death is all but certain. Yes, she's Miwa, very much in danger, very worried. Giant creepy curse has nothing. Oh my god, what a cool shift. Everything changes. Everything changes now. The enemy is here. Let it begin. Don't understand this guy, but he sucks. I think that's pretty clear. He's gonna die this episode, right? Or like soon. Yeah, for sure. A dissolute mistress. The rightful wife didn't bear a son who inherited the family's technique. But you did. So, a mistress who was not supposed to bear a child with the technique did. And so he's the false heir. But the real heir. He has the power. Alright, we gotta go back to normal speed. Because this is a really cool high action sequence. It reminds me significantly, at least in this shot, of classic samurai film. Perfect side profile on both characters, wide frame. Even the location could be inside of a dojo, inside of like it's perfect. It's perfect. But then it continues and becomes wider and more interesting, and the camera starts to rotate. You know, we're turning as they continue making moves to the left side of the screen, and so our angle changes on the background and everything's in motion, and it's that slight bit of motion that transitions us over to the big spiral. So we're already spinning here, right? Just very subtle in comparison. Spinning, and then we start really spinning. Whoosh! Different direction though, it's the opposite. Huh. I wouldn't have done it that way. It still ends up working. The expressions in mid-fight are really cool, especially because of just how dramatically different the locations and placement of each character are from frame to frame. Boom. All the way around over to there. Boom. But it still has flow. It feels good. I like it. Again, those impacts really land. The big smoke clouds after them help. Those whippy smears to show lots of movement in between frames. This is top tier. It's not S tier, okay? But it's top tier. Make sense? Like, this is on the top shelf. It's not in the back room. It's not the special shit that you gotta go crazy for. But it's really good. One day you'll become the pillar. No, we're not the same. I no longer have any connections to the Zenin clan. And finally, I only believe in my own conscience. Don't get in my fucking way. And that is really consistent all the way through. Fushiguro has been on that. And it was our first struggle with Itadori, because Fushiguro's conscience said, no, we're not doing that. And Itadori said we were. And that's what we wrapped up eventually. I love it. This is solid for Fushiguro. It raises a bunch of questions, too, that it doesn't give immediate answers to. Big boy. All right. Big boy looks awesome. I love the designs all over it. It's really cool. Water stuff. We got to look at this. How did they do it? So they used a very speckly brush for the outside lines, which gives it a feeling or a texture that's very much like the Great Wave, the famous painting. Or a famous woodblock, I should say, because it's not a painting. It is very reminiscent of that. I think intentionally so. So we wipe a big flow so we can go anywhere, and then cut out to the wide. Spectacular. Spectacular. Where does it... Yeah, here's where it crashes out of the window, and I wanted to see that too. That's cool. So the little shake of the camera. Ba-bum, pow. Peppa's gotten really good at camera shake. Wide open, and we beat the crap out of him from right here. Midair. Bash, bash, bam, boom. He's going through his own story. I like that this fight ends up being a setup for all the powers that we could use against Hanami as well, because we end up using the Crimson Binding thing a little bit later as well, and similarly turning it into a Destructo Disc, the most powerful technique. Most powerful technique. Boom. Interrupt. Oh, it's so cool. It gives me shivers. I love when a plan comes together, and we've been waiting for this plan to come together for a while. Finally it has. This is the power of seeding those hints. They're not even hints, those direct predictions, right? We know that Geto and Mahito are gonna do a thing, and they're gonna do it here, and you're just waiting for it to happen, and it finally happens. Fucking cool. Whoosh. And they immediately move into action, trying to figure things out. I love that it's Gojo and Gekuganji together. Gakuganji. I love it. I don't like this guy. So he's a cursed user, a cursed tools user who clearly makes his tools out of people. I wonder what that spike is made out of. Unknown. But it reveals the veil. Where are the first moments that we get to see inside the veil and the color shifts completely? Here, and here, and here. I love it. I love the way this looks. It looks so much cooler than the forest did before. It's still, I think, the same background, which is to say that they're still all the same idento trees, which we've had in this forest for the whole time, which has been a little bit annoying. Now it looks rad. I don't know if it will continue to look rad when we're moving through it. You get a bunch of still frames, but this, it is just a filter over it, so I don't know. I don't know. I hope it looks cool. I hope it ends up looking cool. Oh. No shot, and he can't get in. All right. Last bits. Square up for a fight. Let the girl go. Wonderful. I just want to find all of the Hanami lines because I'm fascinated. I'm now in a hell where I've set it to a speed that it cannot be. Wait, will this work? I'm at a decimal point that cannot exist. Uh-oh. Reset. Oh my god. We're fine. We're fine. I want to find... Nothing nicks Hanami. The voice works, but only temporarily. Where did that katana come from? And what is it? It's cool. Stop it, foolish children. All I want is to protect the earth. A noble goal. Curse that's going to kill us all. How much of a problem is Hanami? Hanami seems to be the curse that represents all of the retributive force of Earth essence or life essence. All of nature. A thing that we have feared for forever. As was said previously, each of these four is emblematic of like a real huge piece of the world that's been so deep in the conscious, or maybe in the unconscious of us. And then it carries it to exactly the extreme that it should be carried to, I think, which is the anti-human, humanity is a plague on the planet, destroying all living things argument. Which is exactly what would track from a curse built from the great fears that humanity has of the earth. Yeah. Yeah. That's just right. It's not super deep, it's just intuitive. Sorry, I don't mean that it's intuitive for me to understand it. I mean that the author has intuited something about reality and converted it into an element within their story in a way that I think is effective. There is maybe an issue with this. Let's just fist fight global warming. Doesn't really work. It's part of a problem with all of these stories that have creatures or monsters that are identified as thoughts or human fears or things like that. Similar to Chainsaw Man. It's like defeating that thing doesn't defeat the thing. It doesn't solve the problem. Nor does stopping Hanami prevent the actual ills that are happening to the environment. But at the same time, turning to destruction in order to prevent destruction doesn't really work. The reversal is really cool. Weirdly makes its way into your brain. All I want is to protect this planet. Impossible to coexist. There are some who care for the planet, but their compassion is limited. Why do they say they need to get him out of here? They need to get Inumaki out of here? Is that because it's established its own communication system? I don't understand completely. All we need is a bit of time without humans. And we get the big... Rad. So, a full villain in Hanami's own right. Easily a match for these three, right? So it kicks into gear. Okay, we haven't returned our attention to the Todo-Ai Itadori fight at all. We've put Inumaki, Malfoy, and Fushiguro fighting this guy. Gakuganji is 1v1ing Cursed User guy. She's running to get to Miwa. What else is going down? Don't know what's happening with Ai. Don't know whether Mahito is inside or outside. I would guess Mahito outside, Geto outside? So is Hanami the only one inside the veil other than the tool user? Or did they bring the other ones that we haven't seen yet? The Squiddy boy. Don't know. Don't know, can't know. Oh, what fun. Oh, what fun. Okay. It's kicked in. The story begins. It begins in earnest, y'all. Okay. And thus, I think, ends our tournament arc in its official form. This thing has exploded. The goals and winning is no longer really a goal. We gotta survive. We gotta protect ourselves. And hopefully we can uncover some of the plan that's in play before it snaps Gojo up and ruins everything. We'll have to wait until next time to find out. Thanks so much for watching this week's episode of Jujutsu Kaisen with me. I'll see you next week for episode 19. Much love. Peace.